What's going on, my fellow Jedi and Padawan? Welcome to another Jedi gaming video. Thank you guys so much for coming back to the channel, and if you guys are new, welcome. As you can see, today we're talking about the altars of summoning, allowing guardians to basically get infinite seasonal loot with this activity. Similar to the blinding well, we just have waves upon waves of enemies where we're doing a certain task, whether it be hitting those crystals, the void, solar, arc, whatever it may be, standing on plates, killing a certain enemy, but we'll go over all of that as well with tier 1, 2, and 3 difficulties, letting you progress this event very quickly. Now, this event right here is a 3-man activity, and I personally think if you're throwing in those powerful summonings, it is pretty challenging, and you definitely take a good amount of damage. So going with a fire team if you want to crank these out fast, but it is matchmaking as well, so you're going to be able to pair with random guardians inside of this event. Now, to unlock it, you got to go through that main beginning story, complete the mission invoke, and then you'll be able to come into the altar of summoning. Now, a key part of this event is two different things: our deck of whispers as well as our actual offerings. So that deck of whispers over at the ritual table and the lectern of divination gives us the ability to have those major cards in our deck, which allow us to have certain abilities inside of that event. So we can have a variation of these. There's about 10 of those major cards, but you can only have 5 in your deck, so be on the lookout for those. Drop an extra heavy, drop an extra special ammo, everything in that aspect. The other thing that I want to talk about real quick is these offerings. You're powerful, feeble, and robust. So tier 1, 2, and then 3. You can get these from basically doing any activity. Crucible, Vanguard, Gambit. I got some from farming Cali earlier. You can get them from Altar of Summoning as well, and from Savathun's Spire, so you can get these in a plethora of different ways. Now, when this event starts, like I said, it is matchmaking, so you can run up to the center and you will see a bunch of hive runes glowing in that center circle. Out of all of those runes, there is a couple that are different, but as long as it seems like if your guardians are standing on the same symbols, whether it be those 3 that are different or 3 of the same other 8, 9, whatever the number is, you will get some orbs of power to drop as well as maybe some ammo, so make sure you do that, and that also starts the encounter. Now, there's about 3 different branches that you can go off to once the encounter starts. You go to wherever it shows you in your waypoint, and this is where you will start your encounters and deposit those offerings that I was talking about earlier, as well as those deck cards get applied when you start the encounter. So in this area, there is the 3 different swords. So a single sword is for that feeble offering, the 2 swords is for that tier 2 and the robust, and then the 3 swords is for that powerful offering. So you have the option, the more powerful or more tiers that you do. So tier 3 rewards a bunch of progression on that progression bar in the left hand corner, which you will have to do about 3 of those activities, or 3 different bosses, if you will, compared to if you're doing the tier 1, you might have to go through 5, 6, 7. So it is a little bit faster if you do the 3, but like I said, it is decently challenging and you will die a lot, especially if you don't have that team synergy going on with like a match-made fire team or something like that that you already brought in yourself. Now, the basis of the encounters is similar to Savathun's Spire. There will be some type of task as well as enemies that you have to defeat. Like I said, you have to either shoot those void crystals, melee the arc crystals, and spread that around to the other crystals. Haven't really seen too much with the solar crystals carrying them around because it is very hectic and you're taking scorch from those, but there is others where you have to defeat like a hive witch, get one of the motes, deposit it at a bank, and then the enemy will become unimmune again after you do 3 of those deposits. So it has a varying amount of different activities, you will, or different tasks when you're doing those waves or different tiers, and it doesn't seem to have a super consistent order, if you will. I've had the same tier 1 activity as a tier 3 activity. Like I said, it just rewards different progress on that progression bar. So if you do the tier 3s, you can finish a lot faster. But like I said, you are definitely going to fail a couple times, especially with some of those matchmaking fire teams. But when you're going in there with a juicer fire team, you can blow through them, not too terrible, and you get rewards after you fill up that progress bar every single time. The best part about this activity, in my opinion, and what makes farming for the seasonal loot probably the best inside this activity, is because every single time you fill up that bar, you are rewarded loot. Now, it can be powerful offerings, normal offerings. Like I said, you can get Season of the Witch engrams. You can also get red border weapons, armor from this season, so you can get infinite amount of that seasonal loot. Now, the fact of the matter is we don't have to even leave this activity to continue on. It has about a 20-second cooldown. You go back to that middle platform with all of those hive runes around, and then you and your fire team can reactivate it, and it might send you to the same area or one of the different ones. So the activities will change kind of depending on which branch you go into, from what it seems, depending on the enemy type, Scorn, Hive, Fallen, stuff like that. I've got a varying amount of enemies as well, so it is very, very fun and a lot different than a lot of the other activities that we've had in the past, with the ability to do different tiers, so it can be easier from starter players, or if you're veterans, go smash those tier 3s and get that loot super fast. Or you can head in, do a bunch of tier 1s, make it nice and chill and easy for yourself if you're doing like a late night grind or something like that, and it might take a little bit longer, but it doesn't seem like the loot really changes if you do 6-7 tier 1s compared to just 2 or 3 of those tier 3s and then the final round. So it kind of just varies on how you're feeling and how your fire team's playing together. But if you do fail, you will have to either just end the event right there, and that's where you get your loot, or you'll have to do an extra couple events to raise that bar progression a little bit further, since you failed that one event. But it doesn't happen too often, except for those tier 3s, like I said. So definitely, this is a very, very fun one to grind out. Very basic, just like Savathun's Spire. Start at the center, activate those hive runes, go out to one of the branches, clear ads on ads, do whatever task it has you do with the crystals, standing on plates, defeating a certain enemy, and then after that progress bar, collect that loot from our Hive God Eris this season and get all those juicy red borders so you can craft the new season weapons, since we got that new leveling system, which is so nice. So hopefully this guide helped you guys out be able to crush this 3-man activity. I know I've been hearing people say it is pretty challenging, especially when you got that random matchmaking, but when you do get a fire team that synergizes very well, like I said, you can blow through those tier 3s and get your loot super quickly. So thank you guys again for that support. Truly appreciate all y'all. Got a lot of content coming out this season, a lot of new things coming in the sandboxes for the finals shape and future seasons as well. So be on the lookout. Join the Discord, subscribe, hit that bell if you haven't on the channel here. I truly appreciate it. One-Eyed Jedi on basically all of my socials. So again, appreciate all y'all. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.